Besties and Bubbles.
Welcome.
Cheers, Kim.
Cheers, friend. It's podcast day.
Thanks for joining us.
Delicious.
I had one of our viewers, they were actually here to see Emily today.
Oh.
And Emily mentioned that we were going to be podcasting. And she was like, she came out and she said, I was hoping I was going to see. Like, she was interested in the behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I said, it's like the Wizard of Oz.
I was just going to say, it's the chicks behind the curtain.
Let's just
we'll just keep it at that.
Let's not do a behind the scenes just yet.
Not yet.
Let's increase our following first.
Yes.
Anyway, it was cute. And then we ended up talking about it. And then at a bar earlier on Friday, we had somebody come up and said that she watches us on Besties and Bubbles.
I was actually at a party over the weekend. Okay. And there was someone that said that he actually watches Besties and Bubbles. So I was like, oh, well, thanks.
Good.
So, there's a little bit of a following.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you for watching and sharing and liking it and subscribing if you're a YouTube channel person. But
yes, thank you for sure.
We don't know a lot about stuff, but we know we're having a good time. So thank you. So this is our sponsor for today.
Yes. So the fabulous Luca Bosio and his...
You say that so well.
The Prosecco, the Rosé Prosecco, or he says Rosé Prosecco, Prosecco Rosé. Anyway, it is delicious. This has intense aroma flower flavors, fresh fruit like pear and apple, and it's so just delightful.
Yes.
In the summer, like you just want to open up a bottle of this and just take a sip, and it's like, Interesting fact about Luca Bosio. He pays homage to his grandma with this wine. I believe it's Nonna Angela.
Oh.
And I think it's very sweet. He actually was born into the vineyards, but then developed or took the knowledge and everything that he was brought up with to school to study enology, which is the study of wine.
This is ringing a bell. We talked about this on a prior podcast.
Right.
Yes.
And so has created these beautiful wines in these vessels for everyone to enjoy. So if you are local, you can enjoy these and actually pick them up at the Corner Cottage in Elmhurst, Cabernet & Co. in Glen Ellen, and the Boss Signature in the northwest suburbs in Bartlett.
Okay.
So
highly
recommend.
Yes, we like this, and we think it's a pretty bottle too.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Look at the color.
Yeah.
Very delightful.
Yes. Cheers, and thank you to our sponsor.
Thank you.
So almost every podcast we talk about our life, fair, and we both have kids. But
we do. We actually have multiple kids.
We do have multiple kids. And I've always thought we have several listeners, I would imagine, that don't have kids by choice.
Yes.
Their life choices, for one reason or another, have just brought them to the point where they're maybe younger than us, maybe older than us, maybe our age, that just don't have kids. And so I thought it would be nice to just talk about that and kind of, now you said when we briefly talked about this before, you don't have a lot of friends that don't have kids.
I personally don't, because most of my friends I've met through my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about that too, right? And so, but ironically, my parents, who are in their late 70s and early 80s, have some friends that don't have children.
And they were always married to each other?
Yes.
Did they get married late?
I don't know if I could answer that question.
Like post the time that they could have kids kind of thing?
I don't know. And I don't know, I don't know all the reasons.
Yeah.
But I just found that, in fact, there's 3 friends, like couples.
Yeah.
That they have that. And I would say my parents, I imagine when you get older, right, your friend range, just like our friend age range kind of varies, right? So I would say their
Yeah.
friends range anywhere from, let's say, 65 on the very low end to like 90 on the high end. So
Yeah.
that's that's a lot.
It I think it's more unusual at that age
Mm-hmm.
to choose to not have kids than it is people our age or
Or
younger.
younger.
And
Yes.
so we actually looked it up, and it's true. The trend is trending percentages of adults that are choosing between, they said, between 18 and what was it,
49.
18 and
So
49
really that's Gen Z and millennials.
are choosing not to have
Those are
kids.
two whole
The,
generations,
that's Yeah,
right?
right. And probably the next one. What they're saying is the trend is that more and more people are choosing not to have kids.
Yeah. And some of the stats we found that in 2018 of this age group between 18 and 49,
Yeah,
right?
right.
In 2018 it was 37% had chosen not to have kids.
That's
And in
shocking.
2021 that jumped all the way to 44%.
Which is almost
It's
half.
almost half. I would imagine if they were to do,
Right.
another
Again.
study now or in the next year, it probably is 50,
Yeah.
close to 50%, right?
Yeah.
Or more.
So I have several friends that chose not to have kids.
So why is that?
Well, knowing that we were going to do this podcast, I did make a few phone calls.
Of course you did.
Well, I'm curious, and I have friends that
Absolutely. Yeah.
they wouldn't be offended by that question. So I some of the reasons that the study gave me is also the reasons that I got from my friends. Um, One woman told me that um, when she was in her 20s and early 30s, she thought she didn't want to have kids because she didn't want to give up her freedom. She
Okay.
was enjoying her single life and,
Yeah.
and being able to just get up and go even when she was dating someone. Now, this is someone that never married.
Okay.
Um, and she said, even though she's been in several relationships, she just chose
Yeah.
not to get married
Yeah.
either. And she said that she just loved that get up and go. And then she was in a relationship with somebody that had a child,
Okay.
and that was for several years. And
Okay.
so
So
she
kind of
kind
got
of
a
felt like
taste
she
of
had
it.
that, yes.
Yeah.
And so later in her late 40s,
Okay.
so now she's older than I am. So she's almost 60.
Okay.
In her late 40s and early 50s, she felt like she should have maybe done that. She's not raising anybody's kids. She got out of that relationship.
Okay.
And now she's looking back on it. Her main reason for doing that is, to have that person to love, and that, but so she's not in
Yeah.
a married, not in a relationship with anybody right now. And that also, someone to care for her when she's
Yeah.
older too.
Yeah. I mean, case in point.
Case in point. So I found that interesting. Now, that said, we know plenty of people that that's not their plan. They're not looking for their kids to take care of them. They want, you know what I mean? Like you said, your
True.
parents have a plan. We're
Yeah,
going to,
they do. They absolutely do. But what, kind of going back to those stats, what were some of the reasons? Obviously, you just shared not wanting to give up freedom, but
yeah.
what were some of the other reasons
Some of
that
the
were
other things
cited?
in general.
Yeah.
So I have a couple different situations, but in general, the study said that, um, in general, they said giving up personal reasons was the
Okay.
number one reason.
Sure.
So whether they didn't want, because kids are expensive and they didn't want to give up their freedom.
Kids are very expensive.
I have told my kids several times, you know how much money I would have if I didn't
I
have
think
them?
it's at least $250,000 to raise a kid.
It is. It's
And that's just one kid.
Yes. And
So,
that's an older stat, and it was 260, I think, from 1 to 18.
Yeah. So
That's not college.
Right. Well, that's just to get them
College
to graduate high school.
Yes. To get them to adulthood.
Right.
Right.
There you go.
Yes. So financial, and then like increasing costs with things like that. So that, and also personal reasons would be like travel and lack of freedom.
Okay.
Then the other category were career minded women that said that they were very passionate about their career, but they didn't find that their career was very conducive to having a baby, like affordable childcare or paid enough paid maternity leave and things like
Sure.
that, right? So
Sure.
so the work life balance wasn't there for them in their career, which is super ridiculous. That's so unfortunate. No, it's unfortunate. It's not ridiculous. They feel that way. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. What word am I
Unfortunate.
saying? It's
Unfortunate.
unfortunate that that is the case.
Yeah.
It
Could
makes me
you
feel sad that women that love their career feel like they have to choose. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean?
And do you think maybe those women are single during that period of time as opposed to with a partner? That they're feeling that they
Well,
pursuing their career as opposed to pursuing their children, meaning that they're not in a relationship with someone that they would want to have a child with.
I don't know about statistically speaking, but I know that in the people that I know,
Yeah.
that you know too,
Yeah.
actually, two working adults just didn't want to have kids.
Okay.
It was just going to be stressful to have a child and still have a career that you loved as a female, and then the male had a career. So
Okay. Well, I mean,
that was it. And then there were
yeah.
smaller pieces of saying, like, feeling like the world isn't safe, and that there's a lot of things like
Okay.
that,
Okay.
overpopulation.
Well, obviously, that's not going to be happening.
It's really not going
So
to be happening. It's not. There's a lot of people in this world, but
there,
yes.
there is. But I mean, it's not like we're wild animals and rodents.
Remember Bob Barker at the end of,
I do.
you know what I'm going to say? At the end of, with his
Yes. On
long
The
skinny
Price is
microphone,
Right.
a little thing,
Yeah.
and he said, "Help control the pet population. Make sure you get your pets spayed
Spayed
and
and
neutered."
neutered. Yeah.
Price is
R.I.P.
right.
R.I.P. Bob Barker.
He's dead, right?
Yes.
He's
He just passed away recently, though.
really.
Like I'm gonna go a couple years ish.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had to be old. He was old when we were young.
Correct. I think he went early gray also, though. But I
Yeah.
mean, anyway,
Eh.
we digress.
Okay. So
Digress.
usual.
Yeah.
I had a couple other people I called and talked to, and they said they just really didn't feel that maternal feeling, like they wanted to have kids. And my follow up question was, what is your birth order? Because some younger people that I talked to, because they recently, and they're in their 20s, so they could change their mind, but they're in their 20s and they said that they had to raise their younger children. I mean, their younger siblings, and they felt that would be a reason why they didn't want to have kids. And they could
Oh,
still change their mind.
yeah. Now, see, I find that interesting because I would think the youngest kids would not want. And this is just my
Yeah.
viewing. I feel like when you are the oldest and you're taking care of younger siblings, you have that maternal instinct and you've already done it, and so you've kind of had the practice to be
Oh, I see.
comfortable with it. Whereas where you're the youngest, you're the one that's always been taken care of, and so maybe there would be a little nervousness or apprehension to be like, well, I've never taken care of anybody
Well,
but
I
myself.
think they felt a loss of freedom.
Okay, fair.
So the people that we were talking to were people that they couldn't go out with their friends, and their parents kind of used them as, you're the babysitter.
Okay.
And so that's what they felt. And I bet
Okay.
that then they grow into adults that feel like they don't want to give up their freedom, which is the number one category,
Yeah.
the biggest,
Yeah.
group of people.
Fair.
And so I
Fair.
had somebody else, when I asked her what her birth order was, and she said that she wasn't the firstborn. She was actually the baby.
Okay.
And she said, even growing up, she just didn't picture the wedding. She didn't picture the nuclear family.
Yeah.
She didn't picture she's still not married, long-term relationship with a man, but she was, she was saying that she's not, she just didn't have that,
Yeah.
and she also married someone that also felt that way. Now, he did have a kid, but he had those feelings too, where he just thought he'd be okay if he didn't have children. So it's something, it's something they share.
Yeah. That's interesting. In some of my research and discussions,
Uh-huh.
I mean, and this could be, I think this is, fair to say, if you didn't necessarily have a good relationship with one of your parents,
Yeah. Like, you don't know how to parent?
Well, like maybe you didn't have a good relationship with your father, and the dad left the mom and the mom was there as a single parent, or vice versa, but I'm just giving an example, right? That you don't necessarily want to, that didn't appeal to you.
Yeah.
And there's that PTSD or those not good memories, right?
Right.
Of a childhood
Right.
that is actually very real. So if you didn't have a good childhood, and I say good,
Yeah.
lightly in air quotes because
Right.
that's all subjective, but in your mind, then what, like, why would you want to be a parent?
But then why would you want to be a spouse? See, the
Yeah,
study
I
that was
mean,
done was just all about adults,
yeah,
right? It
and
didn't say
you could
marriage
turn it
because
any way you
I bet
wanted.
you marriage rates have gone down too.
True, very true.
Now we didn't look that up because we were only talking
Yeah,
about today talking about adults that choose to not have kids.
right,
Obviously, our heart goes out to men and women that have been in relationships and tried to have children
right.
and couldn't
And
have
if
children, and
that
we know
wasn't,
those,
yeah,
and that have lost
absolutely,
pregnancies. That is it.
absolutely.
It's heartbreaking. So, um, but for the sake of this podcast, we were talking to people that actually choose. It's fascinating to me,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Now, your friends that chose not to, do they have close relationships with nieces or nephews?
Yes, very close.
Okay.
Like they're
I would
the auntie,
concur.
they're the
This,
favorite thing.
yes,
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes.
the same.
Because I asked, yeah, because you're right. I did ask about that too. Like, are there kids in your life? And it's like,
Yeah,
yes. Like,
right.
I helped out with nieces and nephews and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah. Very close relationship niece and, all that stuff. And so it's not that they just don't like kids. I didn't talk to anyone that said I just don't like kids.
yeah.
Do you know what I
And
mean?
that's actually,
I bet there's a fair amount of people
I
that
bet
just
there
don't like
probably
kids.
are a fair amount of people
Yeah,
that
they just
don't like
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually you grow out of being a kid, but
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Or don't want to have the pressure. And I'm sure that childhood and family dynamics has something to do with it. If your parents are
Absolutely.
divorced, if you came from a family that was maybe, you had half siblings or something, and there was, I guess that could be all sorts of things.
Think about kids that have been through the foster system.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole host of things.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, and this is for another podcast, that could also then motivate them to want to be a parent.
Right.
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 So I find it very interesting.
It's interesting because we're not like that. Didn't you always want to be a mom?
I always did.
I always. And you had always a career too.
I did.
Yeah.
I worked. I still work, but yes, I raised 3 boys. I worked. I traveled. Yeah. But you know what's interesting? I remember because my husband and I, Amanda and I, were married for 5 years before we had kids.
Purposely?
Purposely.
I mean, yeah.
Purposely,
yeah. You were like, let's not have kids for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
And I knew it was so weird. And I feel it was God just tugging at me to say, now's the time. I'm like, someone else needs me. And I had this conversation with my husband. I'm like, somebody else needs me. So I can't really explain it.
Yeah.
So, and I know it doesn't always happen that way. Let's be clear.
Right.
I mean, babies can come at the best time and not planned and, whatever the case may be. But it was just, I specifically remember that I felt I could give more, and now was the time to give more.
Yeah.
So
I always wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
I just never felt like I didn't want to be a mom. You know what I mean? I don't ever feel it. I don't ever feel that. Yeah. I don't remember feeling that way. But I think I had a large family. I had older brothers that were getting married and having kids. It just seemed like that's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And then, but the one time that it was probably contentious, I think, when Tom and I had Brett. I think Tom was very satisfied with Brett. We had Nicole, we had Dean, and then we had Brett, and things were good. And I was like, we need to have one more.
Yeah.
Like,
and that is also,
and that was a tough
big couples debate as well, right?
Yeah.
So
he was good, and I was like, no, we need to have one more. Like, especially in our circumstances, because the older two were going off to Doug's house and things like that, and they had other grandparents.
A blended family.
Yeah, and I was like, no, Brett he would be like an only child.
Yeah,
like I needed that. And thank goodness we have Emily. Boy,
of course,
that girl.
Of course.
So, I think that's the only time where I think I was really like, should I or shouldn't I? Definitely after Emily, I knew I was done. I felt like I was done. I never had that urge to like, oh, maybe I'll have another one.
More.
You know what I mean? I never felt that. So
Now, question of your friends that you spoke with, do they have pets? Like, do they have and when I say a pet, I mean like a dog or a cat, right?
A dog or a cat.
Yeah.
What are the other options? Like fish or lizards?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
A
mean
tortoise?
I mean like an animal that actually needs to be taken care of,
Yeah.
right?
And like shows
that
affection.
has love and affection. Yes.
Not like a bird.
Yeah, actually, I mean, yeah. I'm sorry,
know
I'm
what I
not
mean.
going to put a bird. You could be.
No, I'm with you.
I know there's bird lovers out there, but I'm gonna not include a. You can't like love on a bird, and maybe you can. But
Maybe some
I don't
people
know.
can.
Yeah,
That's probably another podcast.
right.
Yes, I would say all of my friends have animals that they really love. Okay, I could think of two that don't have kids, a
Or
spouse, partner,
okay,
or animals.
okay.
Think
All
of the
right.
money they have.
Yeah, right.
She does travel quite a bit.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Well,
So because I think that that's important too. I tell everyone very often, I am one of my love languages is definitely physical
mm-hmm.
touch, and I get a lot of love and affection from my
Your
dogs.
doggies, yes, you do.
Well, you get them every time my dogs come in.
I love them.
They adore you.
I love them. They're so sweet.
They don't jump on me like that when I come in, by the way.
I
They're
know,
like,
and
oh, mom's home.
I mean,
Kim's here. Woo,
I see
woo,
them
woo.
often, like at
Yeah,
least once
they
a day,
act like
sometimes twice a day.
I know.
Yeah,
Today twice, and
Twice.
they acted like they haven't seen you for a month.
like I saw them at the crack of dawn, literally to
Yes.
sunset.
Yes. Oh, sunrise, sunset, sunrise. What song is that?
I don't know.
Oh, us on the song.
Bye
thing.
Bye Birdie.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. But remember, we had to play it like on the it's something in junior high.
The recorder.
Like hot cross buns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hot cross buns.
Do.
Okay, we just totally digressed.
But somebody knows. Yes. So my dogs are like that, and I think that animals can provide a lot of comfort. They sense energy, all that kind of stuff.
That's like also though taking care of something.
Yes.
Like I would say specifically with dogs, right? Like
yeah,
a dog cannot really go like days
right
without they have to be walked, they have to be fed. Like I know cats have like their own little thing.
So you think, okay, so you're comparing that to like people having, if they don't have children, they have somebody to love and take care of.
Something that needs them.
Yeah.
It depends on them.
But some people just choose to have a spouse.
Yeah, that's true.
That needs them,
okay, that's fair.
Because they can help pay the bills. I mean, heck.
That's
my
true.
dog does not make any money.
Well, yes. But,
all they do is cost me
money. But they bring you joy.
They do.
And love.
They do. Well, we found it really interesting because it's not, we have a lot of things in common and we also think we're very different. But this was something we have in common.
Yeah.
But we didn't know the other side of it.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was pretty interesting to kind of look into it and stuff. And I think, honestly, we're going to have more friends, and definitely our kids are going to have more friends that just choose not to, statistically speaking, choose not to have kids.
Yeah. And I think the interesting thing will be all of, the follow-up, right? And I don't mean like follow-up from our podcast. I mean, what will happen globally, right?
Yeah, like to the U.S. population.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like you need a certain amount of people born every year to keep the U.S., not only just the U.S. population, but that's what we're concerned with, is the U.S. population afloat.
2021, 44%.
I mean, when the jobs reports come out, like that's people that are earning Social Security. Mm-hmm. So when you get a full-time job, that is, and you're earning not earning, but you're
receiving.
No, that you are paying into Social Security.
Oh, paying into.
That's what you are considered part of the jobs report. You are a worker. Right. And when you stop putting into Social Security, i.e. retirement means you receive it.
Right.
Then you're taken out of that workforce number. Right. So that's just kind of like a high level of how those numbers are figured. So if there's less people putting in and more people taking out, then that might be a little bit of an issue.
Just because 44% of people in 2021 adults are choosing not to have kids doesn't mean that I mean, I had 4 kids. You had 3
Right,
kids. We're
right.
still overpopulating
Right.
more than replacing
Yeah.
ourselves.
I mean, and this will never affect us in our lifetime and our
Yeah,
viewers,
true.
so to speak. But it's something to ponder. That's all.
Yeah. All of my siblings had 3 or more kids.
Okay. And see, my one sibling had 3, and my other one has 1. And interestingly enough,
Correct.
on my husband's side of the family, his one brother had 3, and his other brother had 1.
Oh.
So 7 was the lucky number for our parents.
I guess
for their grandkids.
Well, interesting.
Yeah.
We would love to hear if you were someone that chose to not have children
Yeah.
and we didn't mention your reason why.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
I love learning new things.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I have several, my teacher friends, and they're with kids all day, and they
Yeah.
don't have kids. It's just is there a substitution in your life for that, or did you not want to just be bothered with that or tied down,
Yeah, right.
to raising a child,
Right.
or did you just the opportunity just never came up?
And I think
interesting.
substitution is probably a good word.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not or something to fill that. I don't want to say void because that's the wrong word, but like that spot, right?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
The space that you have, like, to care.
Yeah, to care for a child, have that
Yeah.
opportunity to care for a child or have a child in your life
Right.
for a certain period of time.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. So
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so
All right. Well, feel free to reach out to us because we're very interested in this topic
We are.
because it doesn't resonate with us, so we want to know.
Yeah, we wanted to talk and share, and
And we did want to drink.
And Luca Bosio did not disappoint.
Did not. Cheers to you guys. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
We love you all.
Thank you to our sponsor.
Yes.
Again.
Ciao.
Ciao.